Welcome everybody to the podcast Legend Killers. After I pour myself some more soda, I'm a little bit thirsty again. But
it should be water, not soda, Ed.
Okay, let's try that again. Welcome everybody to the podcast Legend Killers, where my coworkers don't disrespect me in front of my podcast. All right. Anyway, I should say co-hosts, because I mean coworkers would imply that we're not that close, but we are. We actually pretty much are.
Rock on.
Why are we even doing a podcast together? But okay, enough rambling. I mean, then again, we're about to ramble. We're about to talk about a show that was full of like things to ramble about. A show that I quite frankly don't want to talk about. Eddie even complained to me about. This is the very first time Eddie has ever told me, "Hey, why are you making me watch this garbage?" And now,
and I was only 3 matches in at that point. Okay.
My point exactly. So, this is what the people want. And so now, here we are. We're going to talk about it.
All right. Let's give it to them.
All right. So first, we got the tables match. Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro versus Big E and Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought for what it was, like, I know I wasn't going to get, like, a classic, only because, like, they never give Cesaro or Shinsuke the proper screen time, especially during match times, that I feel like they deserve, and when they do, it's usually always them, like, taking the offense and taking the punishment.
Right.
So in that regard, this match already surpassed my expectations because I saw a lot more aggression and I saw a little bit more of a back and forth. So for what it was, I was okay with the match. Wasn't really blown away by it. I thought that spot where Big E hit Cesaro with the spear through the ropes. Well, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in a while, and I thought it was kind of crazy, like how close Cesaro came to hitting that
table.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, it makes me wonder, like, was that intentional? Or, I mean, not that it was intentional for Cesaro to, like, almost hit the thing, because I don't see WWE being that deliberate. But what I mean by that is I wonder if the intent was to have Cesaro go through the table, or if he wasn't. But I don't know. That's just my own thing, you know?
Well, and that's one thing I actually agree with you on about that match. I think it was a really good opening match.
Mm.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
Mm.
It wasn't a show stealer by any means, but it was fun to watch. It was a good opener.
Yeah.
It was one of those matches like, okay, here we go. Let's do this. I'm glad the New Day lost, I guess. I mean, if you're going to push Cesaro and Shinsuke, I guess that's the way to do it. Tag team titles, even though they deserve more than that, but whatever.
Yeah,
it was a fun match. Like, 5 out of 10. I'll give it that. 4.5 out of 10.
I mean, hey, it's still better than Bret Hart's opinion of Triple H. So, there's that.
That's a whole show itself. Okay.
Okay, so, personally, I think that if you're going to give Shinsuke something, tag team titles, especially the SmackDown tag titles, I don't know how I feel about that, because I almost forget that the division exists sometimes, you know? And while I am happy for Shinsuke and Cesaro, honestly, this win over Kofi and Big E just really more screams to me like they're gonna plan for something between Big E and Kofi. Because, like, where do they go from here if they have another tag team feud? I just don't see, like, logically speaking here, I just don't see what else they can do. You know, they've already won both tag team titles a number of times. They've held them for a number of times.
They're the longest reigning tag team champs, I believe, now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was SmackDown or Raw, but I'm inclined to believe... Oh, it was Raw? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so according to Raw yesterday, the Street Profits technically beat them because they became the the longest reigning tag team champions. Which, I mean, kind of hard to believe, but I don't know. Maybe.
They did?
I guess so. Don't look at me, man. That's what they said.
I mean, didn't they just win them, like, this year? The Street Profits?
Dude,
Like,
I have not been paying attention. I don't watch Raw and
Same
SmackDown
here.
anymore.
Like,
Yesterday
and
was a
this is
miracle.
Exactly why. How did the Street... No, okay.
I say give them a chance because I find them pretty... If you watch their stuff in NXT, they're pretty entertaining.
No, they annoy the hell out of me. Actually, only one does. Montez Ford. I can't.
What?
Mm-mm. Yeah, no.
Have you not
He's annoying as hell.
seen the height of his frog splash?
I like the other one. Angelo Dawkins. Yeah, him. I like that one. I don't like the other one. Montez Ford. He's annoying. He's too much. He's too extra. I'm sorry. He's too extra. I forgot what I was watching when he was doing that Ultimate Warrior moment on the ropes for damn near 10 minutes. Like, come on, bro, get off. Like, no. Bye.
But yet you like Dolph Ziggler, who dresses up like Shawn Michaels and does his own moveset and wears his own attires and
you know
sits
what?
there.
I think that's why I do like Dolph Ziggler. He's our new Shawn Michaels. And if he wants to look like him and use his moves, go for it.
No!
He makes it work.
Do not disrespect Shawn Michaels.
Oh, that is no disrespect. That is a compliment.
That is disrespect. That
A
is
compliment.
disrespect to Shawn Michaels. Why would you... No.
A compliment.
As Shawn Michaels said himself about Dolph Ziggler needs to be Dolph Ziggler, not the next Shawn Michaels.
Well, you know what? It works for him. So, good night, Shawn.
Works for who? Let me ask you something.
Dolph.
Let me ask you something. Up until right now, what has Dolph Ziggler been doing that has been memorable? What
Money in the Bank winner, World Heavyweight Champion winner, multiple-time Intercontinental Champion winner, United States Champion winner, Tag Team Championship winner.
Do you remember his United States Championship reign?
Explosive matches with people.
Do you remember his United States Championship reign?
Years. Okay, he's putting over so many people.
Okay, I'm talking about recent years, not 2011.
Well, if we're going back to past two, I ain't been watching this bullshit. Oh, my little cousin's here. So, no. So I don't know the past 2 years. But, no. We'll get on Dolph later, because, his match is on the card.
Okay.
Hashtag Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, fair enough.
Ziggler, this is for you, bro.
Hey, Ziggler, this is for you.
Dolph.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is a PG-13 show.
Ziggler, this is for you. Actually, Ziggler, this is for you.
We'll get there.
Okay. With that being said, I think he had a good match with Drew McIntyre. Alright, let's get into this. So, yeah, anyway, with Shinsuke and Cesaro, they're winning the tag team championships. To me, it doesn't feel like they're going to be building Shinsuke and Cesaro. More so, they're going to be grooming Kofi and Big E for something bigger. And I'm hoping that is Kofi getting another shot at the WWE title or the Universal title.
Here's the thing, though. I had read something, multiple sources saying that Kofi, Big E, and Xavier Woods said, like, when they split the New Day up, they're all done. Like,
yeah,
they're going to retire, pretty much.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that they're going to retire. I'm just saying that maybe Kofi is going to have a world title program.
I don't think so. I don't. While I would love him to, I don't see it happening. Mm-hmm. I think they did it the first time to get that pop value, that flash in the pan value. If that were the case, Kofi would still be in the heavyweight title picture. He went from losing the championship to being demoted back down to tag team championships. I don't see it happening again. Would I like it to happen? Of course. I would love it to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think if the New Day does split up, that's the end of the New Day. I think all three of them are going to part ways. What more can the New Day actually do?
Mm-hmm.
They've done everything as a team already. So, I mean, you can push Big E. That's believable. I'm sorry. Xavier Woods is heavyweight champion. I wouldn't buy that.
I would.
So,
shit, I love Xavier Woods. Just give him a more serious role and, like, you know what I mean?
That's coming from a Nikki Cross Carmella fan, so of course you would.
Did I say I was a Carmella fan?
You used to. You were 2 years ago.
I was not. I actually used to just think, okay, she's all right.
Oh, Don't have me pull up old podcasts. No,
okay,
you were
go ahead.
pro Carmella.
Go ahead.
You were pro Carmella.
I was pro Carmella?
When she was at her worst, you were pro Carmella.
Guess what? I was pro everyone. I believed that everybody has a good shot of being entertaining or at least something.
I don't.
I wasn't a fan of Carmella. I just thought, okay, you know, some of her work is okay, and I think that
he's lying, y'all. He's lying. We got proof.
You know what? I don't really remember, so I'll take your word for it. Maybe I am lying. Maybe I was a fan. I'll just go ahead and tap out right now.
You were.
Okay, I'll go ahead and give up right now. I'm throwing. Okay, I can't find a towel, so here's my sock. I'm throwing in the sock. How dare you?
You cannot sell me on Xavier Woods as a heavyweight champion. I'm sorry, Xavier. I love you to pieces, but no, you can't sell me on that.
I'm sorry.
You can sell me on Big E. You cannot sell me on Xavier.
Listen,
I would not buy that.
Listen.
And we're not even in the buyer sales yet.
Listen. Personally, years ago, you weren't able to sell me on Kofi Kingston. The reason why is because after years of seeing Kofi Kingston flounder in the mid-card, and after years of seeing Kofi Kingston, you know, lose and be made a joke, you know what I mean? And, like, seeing him do that, the whole, like, the Jamaican gimmick. And then after that, it was the colorful stuff. Like, I just, you know, after a little while, that stuff did not seem like World Championship material to me. However, once I saw him in that gauntlet match, and then once I saw him scream at the top of his lungs, I have waited 11 years for this, and you know what I mean? Like, I believed it, right? So if WWE can do it right, and listen, from what I've seen from Xavier Woods, if you go back at NXT in 2014, and you watch his program with CJ Parker, which it was a very short program, but if you look at his program with CJ Parker and you see the type of mic skills that he can have, and you see the type of character that he can present, the potential, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see why I personally think that Xavier Woods can be a world champion. Just my opinion.
Well, I mean, Carmella ended up being a champion, so you may be right.
This coming from the person who's pro Carmella now.
I'm just saying, you may be right. If Carmella can do it, so can Xavier.
Well, if you really want to reinforce my point, if Dolph Ziggler can get in a championship program, then I know damn sure Xavier Woods can be in a championship program.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
We getting this off later. Don't worry, we getting this off later.
Okay. All right. So next match. Well, actually, I wanted to ask you. Did you have any final things to say about the tag team match?
Oh no, actually, I thought it was a fun match. To be honest with you, like I said, a 4.5 out of 10. I thought it was a good starter match to kick off. I didn't hate the match.
Are you
I actually
sure
enjoyed the match.
4.5 is what you want to rate it?
Yeah.
Eddie, that's an F.
It wasn't great.
That's an
It
F.
wasn't terrible.
That's an F.
Look, had it been the New Day and the Usos, it probably would have gotten like an 8 at the very least. But you got the New Day and a random tag team
Eddie!
of Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Eddie! That's an F!
That's one of the better ratings I have for a match.
How are you gonna say a show is how are you gonna say a match is fun to watch and then you're gonna give it an F?
It was a fun F to watch. F for fun.
What? What? I am baffled. So what's a
F
7
for
to you?
fun.
What is a 7 to you? Amazing?
Pretty much. Oh, a 7. Like, there was no 7s on this card tonight. I'll tell you that. But, yeah, you know. There was one match that was close to a 7, but we'll get there. That was later on. I mean, honestly, this card didn't get good until the final 2 matches anyways. So, a 4.5 out of 10. It was fun. And that's my 3rd highest rated match of the night, by the way. Just letting you know. Spoiler alert.
That's an F. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. F for fun. Yay. What do you want me to say?
I'm just gonna throw in the towel on this one. I don't think you get what I'm trying to say here.
Fine, it was a 5, so it was a D-.
No, it's not. That's still an F. What the? I almost spit out my drink. Okay.
It was fun.
Okay.
F for fun.
Okay. Next match. We got. Okay. I'll be honest. This one put me to sleep. We have Nikki Cross versus Bayley.
Oh God.
Look. I'm a fan of both women. I am not a fan of what they're doing with Nikki. And like when you look back at the fact that this is a woman who had the crowd going crazy when she confronted Adam Cole. This is a woman who had the crowd going crazy when she had a killer last man standing match with Asuka. And then Bayley.
Asuka, yeah.
Yeah, and then Bayley. She also has a plethora of matches. And I mean
iconic matches, yeah.
A plethora.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks and Bayley. Sasha Banks and Bayley at Last Woman Standing. Or no, sorry, the Iron Woman match. And then what else? Then you have
oh God.
Then you have Bayley and Nia Jax, Bayley and Asuka at NXT TakeOver Dallas. And then like you transfer her over to the main roster and she has a couple good matches here and there, a couple fun to watch. But none that touch the level of the types of matches that she was having in NXT. None of them. None of them. And now, right now, we're finally getting somewhere with Bayley. We're getting somewhere with Sasha Banks. These two are having probably the best runs that they have had since they've transferred over the main roster, because a lot of people are finally paying attention to them. A lot of people are saying, hey man, these two have been amazing since this quarantine era and all this stuff. Now, personally, it hasn't been my cup of tea always, but I can see what people like about them, and I can see that, yeah, some of the stuff that they do, it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
However, with that said, how is it that you can give these two, I don't know how long they had, but
too long.
How is it you can give these two a match, right? A match quality, like a championship match, and these two have had amazing chemistry with whoever they have worked with, and you put these two amazing performers, and then I get this. I get put to sleep.
Well, and then here's the thing. The whole gimmick to this pay-per-view was called Horror Show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to Nikki Cross's background. When she first debuted on NXT, when she joined Insanity, this was built for her.
Well,
so I think my expectations were a little bit high, because I'm like, we're about to get that old school Nikki back.
Mm-hmm.
No. She's backstage getting pumped up. You can do this. You can do this. And then we get that. Like, no. I'm sorry. No.
I just I can't see how you can possibly, like if you can get Bray Wyatt classic, right? You could see Braun Strowman classic, and we'll get to that match as well. But you have both of those matches, right? Where you see
I know you didn't say classic. Okay.
You know what I mean, god damn it.
Carry on.
You know what I mean, though. You're seeing the retro versions of their characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been numerous times. We've seen retro versions, we've seen a retro version John Cena come back at WrestleMania. We've seen so many resurrected characters. And so it's not like this is out of the realm of possibility, right? But why can you not build a program where Bayley torments and bullies Nikki Cross to where she resurrects that crazy side of her? Like, why can't we have that just for goddamn once?
Thank you.
And then
make it a no-holds-barred match, a no disqualification match. Let's see that Nikki that we saw before. Let's see the insanity Nikki. This show was built around what she used to be about.
Yes.
And that's what I was expecting to see. I'm like, Nikki's about to break out and go ham. But no.
Yes. No. And like I would argue that, like, okay, it goes against her current character, but again, if you can resurrect Bray's character and you can resurrect Braun's character and you can resurrect old characters, you can do one goddamn time with Nikki Cross for the sake of one program where this pay-per-view is the horror show at Extreme Rules. Like, god damn it.
No, touching on your point, you can still do the same thing with her character. She can have that Dr. Jekyll, Mrs. Hyde type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Maybe we should apply as writers. It totally would have worked.
You want to apply as writers so that we can't go to sleep at like 3 a.m. because then they're going to call us? Vince is going to call us talking about, like, oh, you know what? We're going to have... I just had a great idea. We're going to have Nikki Cross. We're going to have her act like a cheerleader for Alexa Bliss. Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss's cheerleader. Like, you really want to wake up to that at 3 a.m?
No, I'd quit on the spot. Like, did you call me out of bed for this?
Yeah. I can't imagine being a writer for WWE.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I just can't imagine.
Well, you know, maybe when the Mac passes on, we can apply. Maybe Triple H might listen a little better.
I don't know. But okay, so this match put me to sleep. I literally had to rewatch this pay-per-view because I woke up and all of a sudden I was seeing MVP declare himself the United States champion. And then I fell back to sleep. Then I wake up, I was in the middle of Asuka versus Sasha Banks, and that kept me up. But by the time I woke up, I had to go to sleep because I had to go to work. But
anyway. You know, that match was the first time I texted you. It was like, why do you have me watching this? It was because of Bayley and Nikki Cross.
So you were 2 matches in.
Yes. The first one was a good starter. You know, the 4 out of 5 F for fun. But this right here was, no.
So what do you rate this one?
A negative 87.
Okay, well. All right, that's all we'll say about this. Like, shit, like, lots of room for improvement, lots of disappointment. I was no fan of it. And quite frankly, like, just bring back Nikki Cross's old character. Like, I just, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even attacking them as performers. I really don't want to be. No. And like, when we're talking about these podcasts and we're talking about, like, matches that didn't work out for us, we're not saying this in terms to attack the performers or attack
not at all
their characters or anything like that, but we're doing it, you know, we're saying it because, like, we just feel like some things can be improved, and this is one of those things.
And you can still bring back the old Nikki. It will still work with Alexa. You ever turned Alexa heel again, it could still work. So if you're going to try and keep them as a team, like, old school Nikki could work.
Well, I think
Dr. Jekyll, Mrs. Hyde. Plain and simple.
I think that if you bring back Nikki Cross, his old character, what you would have to do, and I just envision it, like, you would have to make Nikki the heel and Alexa stay the face. Because that's the only way you're going to resurrect a character like that and have it believable. Because if you have her...
I don't think so. Because Alexa makes a killer heel too.
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying that, like...
And
I'm
I
not saying
think
that
they
she
would
doesn't
work a
make
lot
good
better
heel.
as a heel team than they would as a face team. If you're trying to keep them as a team.
Oh, okay.
Or
well,
if you're
trying
gonna
to
pick
keep
them up,
as a team, well,
Yeah. If you're going to break them up, just have Nikki turn on her and go back to being crazy. But you can still make her crazy now, and it will still work.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to have Nikki turn on her and go back to being crazy, then Nikki's the one that's going to have to turn on her and turn heel. You know, because otherwise, if Alexa turns on Nikki, then, I mean, there's no way to, like, make her
It's not going to have the same
believable.
effect.
Huh?
Yeah. It's not going to have the same effect. She could snap
Yeah.
and go nuts, but it's not going to be the same as if Nikki was the one that turned on Alexa.
Yeah.
Like, I see your point on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
most
yeah,
definitely.
That's
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's. Which is funny because I had a crazy prediction about this, and I thought that what was gonna end up happening was Nikki was gonna win the title, and then that would not only start the feud between Sasha Banks and Bayley, which we'll inevitably have. Not only that, but that will start and plant the seeds for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I guess I was wrong. Okay. So, and the reason why I think that is because I think that initially there will be some jealousy.
Stop barking. Sorry.
It's okay. I think that initially, should Nikki Cross have won the world title, or the women's title.
No.
The
No.
women's title, I think that Nikki Cross would have. I think that Alexa's old character would seep through, and she would start to get jealous, and you know, we would see like her trying to cost Nikki Cross the title, or trying to take the title from Nikki, or something like that. Anyway, point being, we got a match that could have been better. Now, okay, so Apollo Crews versus MVP. Match never happened, so I don't got a rating for it.
Who versus who?
Apollo Crews versus MVP.
What? Missed that one.
Yeah.
That was such a waste of time. That could have been an Instagram video. On to the next. Like, that, no.
I think personally,
What happened to Apollo Crews anyways? Is he, like, legit injured?
I don't know. Maybe, could be. Maybe he got injured and they wrote him off screen somehow. I don't know. Well, okay, so on screen they had him injured due to Bobby Lashley's full Nelson. Do they not know what finisher to give Bobby Lashley? What's wrong with the spear?
Or the Dominator?
Yeah. Why are they having him do a full Nelson? I mean, I don't see the need.
I guess he's our Black Chris Masters. There we go. Now we're gonna start having the Lashley Dominator challenge. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. I can't see the logic in putting equity in a finishing maneuver that nobody really cares for anymore. And not only that, but like just one that's not as overall impressive. Like, and what I mean by that, not that it won't hurt in real life if he were to do that on you, because I'm sure that if Lashley were to put a goddamn full Nelson on either you and I, it'd fucking hurt us. But
He'd probably break the hell out of us, yeah.
yeah, but like, how are you gonna put equity in a move like that instead of like something that has worked for him in the past, like the spear? That is a fan favorite. People like him seeing the spear. Shit, I like seeing him hit the spear. When it was Roman versus Bobby Lashley, when they had that their first match together. You know, the battle
Wasn't
of the
that at
Spear.
Extreme Rules like a year or two ago?
I think so. And then and then Bobby Lashley defeated Roman with the spear.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
that one. Mm-hmm.
Clearly it works for Lashley, so I just don't see why, like, you know, that first they tried a spine buster. Or, no, they tried the suplex as that finisher. and then they tried the Spine Buster, and that was a move that ended up injuring Sami Zayn. And then they tried, I think they tried the spear for a little bit.
But you know what, bro? Honestly, it's hard to go with a move like the spear because everyone does it now. Like, remember when the spear used to be something special? Like, back when Edge was pretty much the only one doing it? Edge, maybe somebody else, but now everyone does the damn spear. So I can see why they wouldn't go with that. Because the spear's become such a common move, like the headlock. So,
yeah.
Unless you find a new way to do it, but there's really no other way to do the spear.
Well, then in that case, give him another explosive move. Give him the Dominator since nobody's using it. Give him
his original move, exactly, the Dominator.
Yeah, if not, then give him the Jackhammer. Goldberg retired.
Thank God.
Yeah, so you know what I mean, and I think it'll still be pretty impressive to see Bobby Lashley hit that Jackhammer. So there's that. There's a plethora of moves, and like you can't really decide one finishing move. And of all the things you decide to settle on, it's a full Nelson? I don't know. But, okay, so going back to this, it was kind of a waste of time. I'll agree with you on that. I think that, like, I would have liked to have seen a match because, listen, they've been giving Apollo Crews a nice push back when Paul Heyman was in charge of Raw. And, shit, I think if it weren't for Paul Heyman's, like, you know, his writing, I don't think Apollo Crews would have gotten the United States title. So And
I agree, yeah.
And I think that like this could have been a good match to build up Apollo Crews. Look, I don't mind MVP going around healing it off, but like, you know, that was a Raw segment. That's not even a
exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like I don't mind actually the storyline that's going on. It's just that was a waste of time. It really was, you know. But I hope they use this to really build Apollo Crews. I mean, I really hope they invest in him because he is a good talent. So and MVP is a good person to put him over.
Yeah, and MVP is a good heel, and honestly, after seeing his work now, like I forgot how good MVP was. Like, he's just so fun to watch, and I'm like, I think personally, that's the best way to go about it with him, and like, also I just find it really entertaining watching him be Bobby Lashley's manager too. So I'm like, I'm cool with it. I think you got to give Apollo Crews that win eventually.
Well, the only positive thing I have to say about this segment is the fact I like the story that they're starting to build upon. So I hope when Apollo returns, then he gets his big come up. You know what I'm saying? I just hope they keep going with that. I wouldn't even mind him coming back and losing and then winning afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good story that they're building up towards. So if they do it right, they have a lot of potential.
Yeah. All right. Now, this is the match I was dreading. This is the match I did not want to sit through and watch. This is the match that I think would have been better off as a cinematic match. I'm kind of surprised
they had that eye for an eye BS.
Yep. I just, look, man, I'm not all for all that gruesome bullshit. I'm not for all that graphic shit.
I'm not either. Like, dude, this is wrestling. Like, what is this? First,
I'd rather watch garbage wrestling. You know, I'd rather watch two like backyard wrestlers fucking beat the shit out of each other with a fucking, I don't know, steel cage like fucking bullshit fence.
And it's funny because when that match was going on, I remember turning to my sister and saying, like, what happened to steel cage matches? What happened to ladder matches?
Yeah.
What happened to no DQ matches? What, an eye for an eye? You have to take somebody's eyeball out? Like, what is, no, who wants to see that? I don't. I'm sure there's some sick people out there that would like to see that. I don't. Like, it's wrestling. Like, if I want to see that, I'll watch a Saw movie. Like, I'm not, this match made no sense to me. And then I watched that little video package of the build-up going into it. I'm good. I'm good. And the match wasn't bad as a wrestling match, but just the whole gimmick behind it was stupid. I'm sorry.
And like the entire time, I just couldn't like enjoy the match even. Like the entire time I was just thinking, all right, just get this bullshit out the way and just do it. Not only that, but I'm just like, of all the things, this could have been the payoff. Like, I'm with you on that. Like, it could have been a steel cage match, and you know what I mean? Like, you could have had whoever win. Whatever. And, like, the thing I love is I love move steals. I love when somebody steals another person's finishing move. But even a move steal couldn't save this goddamn match.
No, and I think Ray did this.
He did the curb stop
comp on Rollins outside the ring, right?
Outside.
Yeah. Honestly, as a match, it wasn't bad, but it was just the stipulation that made it bad. Like, these two could have done without any stipulation, and it would have been a classic.
Mm-hmm.
But all this extra stuff, I'm sorry. And then the funny thing is, the thing that killed it for me was the ending. So when they did their thing on Raw a few weeks back, you actually saw blood in the eye and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This one, the ending was so damn corny. There was no blood, like nothing,
and
not
then you
a
see
drop.
like the prosthetic eye.
Yeah, and then you can see Seth Rollins putting fucking instant oatmeal in his mouth to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that. I'm like, what's this? Like, oh god, it was corny. I'm sorry. Done. Such a waste of two good talents, all because of a bad gimmick match. I'd rather have seen a diaper match like Razor Ramon and 1-2-3 Kid back in the day, and that was terrible. But damn, it was more entertaining than this.
Tell me, what is a diaper match?
You haven't seen it? You've never seen the diaper match?
Mm-hmm.
To win the match, you have to put your opponent in a diaper. I'm not lying. Look.
How do you?
This was in your house, 1995 or 1996. It was a diaper match. Razor Ramon and 1-2-3 Kid.
I'm just trying to understand, how do you get to that point, like, storyline wise? You know what I mean? At least with the Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio eye bullshit, like, okay, there was something. It was a stupid program, right? It was stupid altogether to end it off with that type of a match. But, like, how do you work your way up to a point where it's like, dude, you piss me off so much. I challenge you to a match where I will put you in a fucking diaper.
I think what led up to that at the time was the 1-2-3 Kid was just being really whiny. So I think that led up to the whole diaper baby gimmick thing.
Mm.
But go back and watch it. It's still ridiculous, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty much up there with... I put the eye for an eye match up there with the diaper match. It made no sense. It was stupid. Please put this on the shelf and let's never do this again. Like, this is wrestling. No one wants to see that crap. Like, if I want to see something like that, I'll watch a Saw movie or a horror movie. I don't... Like, no.
Yeah.
It's... Okay. Overall, though, the match really wasn't that bad. It was just the gimmick. Like I said, the gimmick made it just not enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. Honestly, though, like, I just couldn't sit through it. Again, not a bad match, not a bad build, because I did find it interesting, and I'll be honest, like, when I first saw Ray get injured in the eye, I have never seen someone injure somebody by, like, scraping their goddamn eye on a steel slat. Like, that's some Undertaker shit right there. And I've never seen him do that. You know what I mean?
And you've never seen him do it. Thank you.
Yeah. But, like, you know, like to end it off with a match where, like, I'm going to have to take your eye out. Like, I don't know. Whatever. I just hope this thing was over. Because at this point, I don't know how you go from there.
Let's pray it's all over.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get into the next match. This match I actually thoroughly enjoyed. Asuka versus Sasha Banks. I watched this match, and I thought it was a nice back and forth. I enjoyed it. Well, listen, I honestly forgot how crazy Sasha Banks bumps, because literally every single German suplex landing on her goddamn neck. I'm like, okay. I'll be honest, I was impressed by it. I thought the finish was something out of, like, a SmackDown versus Raw type game. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, there was this 2007, the SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 storyline where Trish Stratus climbs the ladder and she becomes a WWE champion. It was something almost as like goofy and over the top as that. But overall, I liked the match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good back and forth. I mean, you had me fooled a couple times. I actually thought Sasha Banks was going to win, and then I actually thought that Asuka was going to win a couple times. And I mean, the false finishes made sense. I don't know. It was very interesting. So I personally liked it. What about you, Eddie?
Okay, so for me, the match, it was a solid match.
Mm-hmm.
The ending is what killed it for me. I thought the ending was just over the top and ridiculous. Like that was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I would have went a different route with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. Well, what would you have done?
But I actually would have had a second ref come out and count it for Sasha. But to have Bayley do it, like, and you think we're gonna buy that she's now the champ? Like, a ref didn't sit there and count the 1, 2, 3. And I get what they're trying to do,
mm-hmm.
but it was stupid. No, I would have done it a different way. They're the best at giving Sasha the championship and stripping it away a week or a month later anyway, so what's one more time? You know?
Yeah, well, what they were trying to do was, I think they were trying to continue the feud without having Asuka lose. And I think that for that, okay, it served its purpose because Sasha Banks didn't win the match technically. And Asuka didn't lose a title or win the match either technically. So then that served for this Monday night. Okay, we have an announcement. Sasha Banks and Asuka will have a match that will have a definitive, decisive win. So I think, okay, in terms of storyline telling, I think it made sense. Different type of finish. Not what I would have done either, by the way. And personally,
I mean, what I would have done, I would have had Kairi Sane just turn on Asuka. She's leaving anyways.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. She just got married.
Oh, she's leaving for honeymoon.
No, she's leaving for good.
Oh, leaving? Really?
Yeah, she's leaving WWE. She's going back to Japan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because they're saying her match on Bayley was her last match. The one on Raw that just happened.
That was her last?
And that's why they had her go over Bayley.
Oh.
Yeah. Kairi's done.
Oh, okay.
So me, personally, since she's leaving anyways, I would have had Kairi cost Asuka the championship. Asuka could have won it back the next night and got her revenge. That's why that whole finish made no sense.
Yeah, in that case, then yeah, you could have Kairi turn on Asuka, and then next Monday night, I think, yeah, Asuka would get her revenge. That'll put an equity.
Yeah, she gets her revenge, and boom, done. Mm-hmm. You know you're not going to get a program out of it, but at least Asuka can get her revenge and then get her title back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made no sense. But like, I guess knowing that knowledge and then watching the match, it was like, this end was stupid. Like, this, no. Now, do I like the idea of both Bayley and Sasha being champions and tag team champions? Yes, I do. That's why I just would have given Sasha the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they're really good at giving Sasha the belt for a week to a month and taking it away anyway. So repeat the same process. You've done it 4 times already.
Yeah, personally, I would have just gone with a more decisive win. Personally, not that I wouldn't give Sasha the title, but I would just keep it on Asuka longer. Mainly because I'm a bigger fan of Asuka than I am of Sasha. And because...
Same here.
Yeah. And because, like, honestly, with the losing streak that Asuka has, WWE has a lot to make up for. You know, because she went from being undefeated to losing to every single roll-up. Which, by the way, I would joke, like, off camera that...
Yeah, I know. Carmella beat her.
Yeah. I would joke off camera that tag team matches were her kryptonite because she would always lose to a goddamn roll-up. Her partner would end up taking the fall, whoever that would have been. It was a mess for her. And that's why I hated her in tag team matches, because I knew I'm just going to roll my eyes and know that she's going to lose. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that they're finally giving her something. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Word. The Pringles, yes.
Man, I'm hungry, thirsty. I'm everything. And that's hot. Okay. Okay. So, alright. Okay, so do we have any final thoughts on Asuka and Sasha?
In terms of a wrestling match, I thought it was solid. I'll give that one a clean 8 out of 10. Everything you said, Sasha's really good at selling stuff. Both are good in the ring. They have great chemistry together. I think the ending is just what killed it for me. There were so many other avenues you could have gone with the ending to kind of get that shock value.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that one.
Yeah, I think first. Mm-hmm.
Those are my final thoughts on that. I mean, I would much rather have Asuka just get the clean win and then they attack her at the end and Sasha steals the belt. I mean, we've seen that a million times before, but I mean, this ending was just stupid. Like, when it happened, I'm like, really? Really? Yeah. Okay. No other referee's going to come out? Okay.
I just liked it because it was something different. I'd give this a solid... I give this a solid B. That's it.
I'm rating it on the match alone, so I'll give it a B as well, but the ending was BS.
B match, BS finish, huh? I like that.
Yes.
Okay. We have Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre.
The match of the night.
To call it match of the night, in a card full of eye for an eye matches and Nikki Cross Bailey matches, it's not saying much. That said,
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
It's a big fish in a little pond. Personally, the stipulation I would have gone for, because, like, you know, if Dolph was smart, he would add all of those stipulations and then make Drew McIntyre be blindfolded as well. I mean, you have virtually no chance of losing, and if you do, you're a fucking loser. But with that said, I thought that Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, they put on a hell of a show. And honestly, a part of me wanted Dolph Ziggler to win. Like, just because...
Excuse me?
Hold on. Part of me wanted to win.
I didn't quite hear you. What was that?
I was just about to tell you. Maybe you shouldn't cut me off. Maybe you should let me talk, and I will tell you. You know what? I'm not going to say no more now. So, that's for you. Anyway. But, a part of me did want Dolph to win. But only because I was curious to see, okay, what would Dolph do with the title? You know what I mean? But at the same time, I thought, like, you know what? Like, for what? He's not going to do anything with that fucking title. He has nothing. Nothing! He is absolute shit. He's going to have underwhelming matches. Unbelievable promos, and I don't mean that in a good way. They're going to be unbelievable, as in I can't believe this asshole at all, and believably believe that he is a winner. So, now I'm just healing it up and rubbing it in your face. But listen. In all honesty, though, I think that, of course, you're not going to have Dolph win, because, like, look at the guy's track record. You've been having him lose and lose and lose for years to come. Same thing with Kofi Kingston, I said. Right? And Kofi Kingston, it took a lot to build the equity in him. Right?
Right.
So with Dolph Ziggler, like, you know, I think it would be kind of a cool, feel-good moment that Dolph finally wins the WWE title. But at the same time, as I've said before, I think it's just kind of years too late. And I think he just needs to kind of go away. and be a world champion somewhere else. And maybe if, with all of his talents being recognized in the independent scene, he'll go back to WWE and then finally get his WWE world title ring. But I don't know. Like, look at Heath.
What about Heath?
He is currently shining on Impact, right? There was a Slammiversary segment, and he went in, he's the free agent, similar to his 2016 run. Not only that, but then he had that amazing promo on Drew. In a year tops, he's going to be good. And what I mean by good, he's going to be solidified.
Well, and I hope so, because if his former partners like Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal can be heavyweight champions, I feel like he has the potential to too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you said about Zoll,
Mm-hmm.
if he went somewhere else and became a heavyweight champion, it might work for him to come back. I don't think so. That'll work for somebody like Heath. Dolph already has the potential to be a heavyweight champion. I'm sorry. He already does.
I'm not saying
Now, I know
that he doesn't.
people argue that he's the new Shawn Michaels or whatever, but you know what? It works for him. It works for him. The guy is talented on the mic. The guy is talented in the ring. If he is used the right way, he is a star. It's not his fault. It's the company's fault for not utilizing him the way that they should.
Okay, well, Eddie, let me ask you something. If it works for him, why are people recognizing him as just another Shawn Michaels copy instead of an original Dolph Ziggler?
Honestly, I think it's just because of his appearance. Because I've even said it before. I was like, wasn't that Shawn Michaels outfit from 1996?
Is it really just his appearance? The man literally goes out and does other people's entrances. The man literally goes out and does the Sweet Chin music setup. Like, I'm sorry, but when I think of that, I think of Shawn Michaels. I don't think of Dolph Ziggler. And like, I just don't. Like,
sorry, not you.
Think about it like this, right? Look at Bray Wyatt. He gets compared to The Undertaker, and he gets compared to Mick Foley. And for multiple reasons, because he takes little traits from them. Okay, he takes little traits from them, but he doesn't go around stealing everything that they do. You don't see him.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I've never compared him to Mick Foley. I've never seen that one. To The Undertaker, a little bit. But I'm not going to say, like, oh, he's like The Undertaker. What I say is he's the new age Undertaker, but he's doing his own thing.
Exactly.
The stuff he's doing is different from the stuff The Undertaker was doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, there's similarities, but it's his own.
Yes, exactly. But with Dolph Ziggler, it's practically a carbon copy. And that's the problem, is you can take little things that you like, but don't go around and make it like, don't be a complete carbon copy of the person you idolize. That's just how I look at it. Because then you get pipe bombed on by the man himself, and he goes on SmackDown and calls you a bootleg version of a Shawn Michaels wannabe. And then it ends up being true.
Who called him that?
Shawn Michaels. Exactly. And I can't sit there and say that about Bray Wyatt. I don't sit there and look at Bray Wyatt and think, man, he's just like The Undertaker. He does everything the exact same like The Undertaker. There's a difference.
The only similarities I can say Bray has with The Undertaker is that whole supernatural, effect.
Exactly.
But Bray has taken it into a completely different direction, and that's what I like. Yeah. So, okay, I see your point there. Still doesn't take away from the talent that Dolph has. He is World Heavyweight Championship material. He is. I'm sorry.
Not saying that, though. I'm just saying he needs to be Dolph Ziggler and not Shawn Michaels.
Well,
another
he was Dolph
example.
Ziggler when AJ Lee was around. Bring her back.
Now, another example, actually, and this will be a little more closer because all three of them play similar characters. The pretty boy character, right? Shawn Michaels was the pretty boy. Tyler Breeze, he became that pretty boy since 2014, and he modernized it and made it his own. Like, You know what I mean? And I'll sit there and I'll admit there are some things that I see like comparisons, similarities to Shawn Michaels, but not Shawn Michaels 2.0. You know, he's Tyler Breeze 1.0.
I feel you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and I feel like that's the issue with Dolph is just he doesn't know how to evolve from that. But yeah.
Damn. Well, to me, that was the match of the night.
It was the match of the night. It was.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. The swap match for me was the match of the night. But
we're getting there because that one's next. But
yeah. But it was a damn good one. It was a damn good one. And I even thought, like, you know, like, there were some points, like, I think the only part that you had me fooled was, like, and I wasn't all the way fooled. I was just like, is there a chance here? And Dolph Ziggler ran, elbow dropped Drew McIntyre through the table. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was really awesome. Good match. Great match. What do you rate it?
I give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Makes sense.
Just in terms of match quality.
Makes sense.
And compared to all the other matches they gave us that night, yeah, a solid 9 out of 10.
So you're grading it on a curve? Is that what you're telling me?
I pretty much am. They gave me no choice.
I will never understand your rating system, especially after you gave Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro versus Kofi Kingston and Big E a 4 out of 10, but it's still a fun match.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 10, but it was fun. F for fun. It was the funnest match on the card. Maybe,
okay.
Actually. We're getting to the next match. So I have mixed feelings about the main event. So.
Okay, main event. I liked it. I enjoyed it. The reason why I liked it so much was because of it added a lot of backstory to both Bray and Braun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like, you know, you see their compound a little bit. You see the resurrected Bray Wyatt character, and not only that, but like, it just made me realize, like, because when I initially saw the Bray Wyatt character come back, I thought to myself, okay, that's perfect, because now you can have like, similar to the Three Faces of Foley, and similar to what we were talking about earlier, but you have them all as 3 separate beings, and if you can like digitally like make it to where all 3 of them can be, you know, in the same place, I think that would be pretty cool. But
so you got your classic Bray Wyatt, the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt, and the Fiend, right?
Yeah.
So talking about
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And then if you want to include Muscle Man Bray Wyatt, for sure then.
So that's where they're comparing him to Foley.
Well, that
when you mentioned earlier.
Well, okay. That's one thing, but like I think back in 2014 I think I do remember somebody comparing him to Foley. I just don't remember why. Maybe it was his body type at the time. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just guessing here. I don't know. But
well, what you just said makes a lot more sense because now I see it. Like you said, the 3 faces of Foley. We got the 3 faces of Bray.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and like the reason why I like that idea so much is because I remember seeing it on an episode of Teen Titans way back when I was a kid. And you saw Beast Boy and Cyborg go into Raven's room, and you see all of these different Ravens. The sad Raven, the happy Raven, the emotional Raven, the giddy Raven. And like I just think back to that, and you can add something like that to Bray. And what I liked about this is, again, you added so much character depth to Bray that he probably hasn't had in so long. Like, there was an especially favorite part of mine where we saw Bray Wyatt tell Braun, like, you remember the snake? Like, that very clearly, like, implicates, like, just the type of torture Braun would go through. You know what I mean?
Is that when the homegirl in the cloak had the snake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like it also like portrays the mind games that Bray can play. Like the fact that he had Alexa Bliss's character, you know what I mean? And like a
That's
lot of
Sister
people
Abigail. Yeah.
well, a lot of people were saying Sister
Well,
Abigail, but
yeah,
it
but
was more or less an illusion because it was a throwback to Bray and
the Mixed Match
Alexa's
Challenge with Braun and Alexa,
yeah. Yeah. Which I thought that was pretty cool. Just a lot of backstory and like talking about like Bray Wyatt's character and just I don't know, like I just thought it was so cool, so well done, and it was overall just so engaging to watch. What about you? What are your thoughts on that? Since you have mixed feelings on it.
Okay, the only reason why I have mixed feelings is I guess maybe I'm too old school.
Mm-hmm.
I would have preferred to see an actual match.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I have mixed feelings. However, it was a fun, I'm going to call it a segment to watch. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the production was great. I'm sorry, I still haven't seen the Boneyard match.
Mm.
I didn't see the production Money in the Bank ladder match or whatever. So, but I'm realizing because of times are changing and what's going on with this COVID-19 thing, they have to do things like this. I thought it was really cool. I think they could have pulled the same thing off with the effect of like the Boiler Room match with Mick Foley and Undertaker back in '96. You know, so that's the type of stuff I like to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kind of detracted me from it. But I'm old. Times are different. That was '96. That was over 10 years ago. Yeah. But I get it. For what it was, though, it was cool. Mm-hmm. It was cool. A bit over the top at times, but it was cool. By far the second best match of the night. Like, by far.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say that that's old school thinking because, like, when I saw the John Cena Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse match, I had the same thought that like I would have like probably have preferred a full match. Like I wouldn't have preferred it, but I would have thought like, okay, in terms of Bray Wyatt redeeming his win, that would have felt more like, you know, a wrestling match.
Right.
But I like that they did that match as well. And so like I completely understand your feelings on it. You know what I mean? You're valid in that aspect. And to me, I see that and I think like, okay, I think that I preferred this to a wrestling match because it just gave more depth on Bray's character and more depth on the type of torture Braun went through and the type of torture that Bray would inflict and just like the type of cult leader thinking that he has, you know.
Right.
So that's personally
now,
why I
for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if Luke Harper and Eric Rowan were still around, it would have made it better?
Yeah, because like you can't like if they were there, I know Luke Harper's gone, but is Eric?
He went to AEW. I think Rowan's gone too, though.
Rowan's gone.
I think he was one of the ones that was released recently.
Oh, really?
I don't think he signed with anybody, but yeah, I think he's one of the ones that got released.
Dang. Okay. Well.
Because otherwise, he would have been in that segment for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I think I remember him being released.
Yeah, if you had all four of them in there, I think that would have been really... That would also been really cool because then it's like, okay, well, you're seeing everything. You know what I mean? And then you can, like, even, like... Because, like, in that match, you even saw, like, Braun's old character, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like...
With his original goat mask.
Yeah. And so, like, you can see... If you had Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, you could see the multiple versions of them as well. You know, the hippie swamp Luke Harper and
to the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, to the Bludgeon Brothers. So I just, man, that would have been pretty cool. And, like, maybe even if you had, like, Daniel Bryan, which, I mean, a long shot,
I
but...
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That would have been cool, though. No, that would have been cool in some aspect.
Yeah. Either way, like, I was still pretty happy about it. I still enjoyed it very much. I think for what it was, like, shit, like, in a way, that's one of the redeeming qualities about this whole COVID-19 wrestling, is that we're getting some of these great cinematic matches, and we're getting them to where we're seeing good character development.
Right, because we're seeing it in a different way.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's just something I have to get used to, you know?
That's fine.
'Cause,
That's fine. I have to
yeah,
get used to it too.
They started doing this, this year or last year? What was the first, cinematic? It was this year, right? At WrestleMania?
WrestleMania with Undertaker and AJ Styles, and the second night, Bray Wyatt and John Cena.
And John Cena, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's something I have to get used to, because watching it at first was weird to me, but I was entertained by it. Because I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing people get set on fire, people getting drowned.
Yeah.
It's so over the top, but it's actually entertaining. And compared to what they put us through leading up to this match from the rest of the card, it was a breath of fresh air. Because it was like, okay, thank you for giving me something entertaining tonight.
Then I know for sure you'll like the Boneyard match, and I know for sure that you'll like the
one with Cena and Bray, right?
Yeah.
The Firefly Funhouse, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you gotta watch that.
You told me to watch that months back, and I just couldn't do it, so I will.
Okay. Watch it tonight, dude. Watch it tonight and let me know. And don't even worry about the rest of the card. I'm just saying, watch those 2 matches. That's all you need to watch.
Well, thank God on the network they let us match select now on things. So
yeah. So okay, overall, they had 2 good World Championship matches. Asuka and Sasha was also a good women's championship match. And then we had a good but not great opening card match. So
we had a fun tag team championship match, a fun one.
Mm-hmm. So overall, I didn't think it was a bad pay-per-view. I just personally didn't care much for the Bayley and Nikki match as well as the MVP segment. So
for me, I'm gonna say the same thing, but I'm also gonna throw the eye for an eye match in there. I really didn't care for Eddie.
I forgot about that. I think I'm just trying to block that out of my the recesses of my mind.
Oh, I'm sorry for bringing it back into your mind. I mean, overall, out of 10, I'll give it a 5.
Since I'm a little nicer, I'll give it a... And because they had 2 good World Championship matches, which is kind of rare in today's age, I'll give it a 7.
You are nice.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll stand with my 5. Hopefully they can redeem themselves with SummerSlam. Is SummerSlam the next one? It is, huh?
I think so. And I'm still predicting that Christian's going to return for SummerSlam. I do hope so. I hope so.
I saw your post on Instagram. I want him to return for the Hall of Fame. I would love to see him return for one more match.
Yeah.
Or at least one more program.
Yeah, just give him a match.
He still has it in him.
Yeah.
And with it, did Edge go back into retirement? Is he still around?
He's just injured right now.
Is it storyline injured or?
I don't know. Like the websites I've read don't really make that clear. I believe that he's actually injured. But then what I see with I believe he injured his shoulder or something like that.
Okay. It's not his neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I see is you have him in these segments where it's I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna beat you up. It's it just makes me so confused. So is he coming back or is he not? So I don't know.
I would like to see him come back, finish his feud with Orton. Hopefully Edge returns. We can get one last good title reign between E and C, and then you induct our boy next year. Boom.
For me, it's Christian come back, get at least one win off of Orton, win a world title, the WWE title preferably, one more time, even if it's just for a day, and then have him retire.
I was going to say, you're asking for a lot between now and next March, but Now you know that man deserves more than the championship for a day. It's bad enough the one World Heavyweight title run wasn't even that long.
Okay, yeah, but listen, I know damn well WWE is not going to have Christian be a world champion in 2020, and much less have it for so much as a month. So, you know what? I don't think it's too much to ask that they give him the WWE title for one goddamn day!
Well, we got eyeball matches now, so who knows? Anything can happen.
Well, I do think that it would be a good ratings draw. I mean, shit. So many people have wanted to see Christian as world champion. That could potentially bring back a lot of fans. Rationalizing it?
I'm here for it.
I don't think it's so far out of the realm of possibility. So
I don't think so either, but it's all about who's in charge of creative these days. I mean, we know the last call comes down to Vince McMahon at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But they can give Christian one last good run, one that he deserves.
Yeah.
Because how long was his world title reign? It was only like a month or two, right?
Which one?
He only had one, right? Or did he have more than one?
Yeah, 2. The first one lasted 2 days. Made me so mad.
Is that when he beat Alberto Del Rio?
Yep, and then the next Friday Night SmackDown, he drops it to Randy Orton.
And then he won it back from who? Was it
from
Orton?
Randy Orton. He, I think after like a few like pay-per-view matches, and this made Christian look so weak. After a few pay-per-view matches, Christian won off of a disqualification.
That's lame. See,
Yeah. But hey, a lot of people popped for that. A lot of people were pretty happy that Christian won.
well, as they should. Hell, he got something.
Yeah.
Better than nothing, I guess. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Interesting times ahead.
Yeah. 2011 was an
Speaking
interesting
of
year.
Alberto Del Rio, did you hear what happened with him recently?
I don't even want to talk about it. Listen,
Dude,
man.
that's disgusting.
We have had such a good podcast. I don't even want to.
All right, we won't even go there then. Dude, disgusting. Like, wow.
I can't like I can't imagine that any promotion would want anything to do with a man like this.
I would hope not.
You know what I mean?
I never want to see him on TV ever again.
I was surprised that Impact would rehire him after the constant rumors of abuse between him and Paige. Right?
Right. And those weren't rumors. There was truth to that. There was truth.
There was?
Yes. I mean, for Paige's brother to reach out and, like, say, hey, if anyone's talking to her, let her know. Contact your family. Like, we are in fear for your life. Like, I'm glad Paige woke up.
I'll be honest, that was a couple of years ago. I don't remember everything that happened. But...
Oh, like you don't remember, being a big fan of Carmella?
You say this as if you don't remember saying, oh, well, Carmella deserves to be a women's champion soon. A couple weeks back. You.
When?
You said a couple podcasts back, hey, Carmella should be in the world title run.
Okay, yeah, at least that was this year, after Carmella has proved herself. You said this back in 18?
What did I say?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, Carmella's so awesome. She should be the champion.
I said that she was so awesome she deserves to be the champion?
And the only thing I agreed with was I love the new gimmick they're coming up with for Carmella. Let's see how that works. But you were praising her work. This is when they first did the brand split. And her and Alexa went to SmackDown. Nikki Bella was still around. Becky Lynch was on SmackDown.
See, I think you have that remembered all wrong, because when the brand split happened, you and I weren't even podcasting at the time.
We started podcasting the year... Hold on.
Like near the end of 2016.
Oh, it's been that long?
Yeah, in 2016, the brand split happened in July. And that was when I was still podcasting with Jordan the Wrestling Fanatic, David Capone,
Oh
Crime
shit, you're
Prince,
right.
and then you came into the picture afterwards.
So you were dick riding Carmella since 2016. So
No,
it makes
I
it even worse for you.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. Because I remember it was when they all went to SmackDown and you were praising Alexa and Carmella. And I was saying, I think they'll be good down the road, but not right now. But you're like, no, Carmella's this, Carmella's that.
I think we both need to go back and listen to a few podcasts.
No, I think you should. I remember it clearly. I'll never forget that.
Okay.
Because you see, folks, before then, we didn't have videos to see facial reactions. You should have seen mine when he said that bullshit. Now, do I think Mela is money now? I do. She's proved herself. Like I told you, she needed time to do. But no, in 2016, she was already there. I feel like if we were in the same room, you might choke me out right now.
Nah.
You said it.
I just really want to go back and look back at those.
Archives.
Okay. I guess I got to go back and
you
look
have the
back.
archive.
Yeah, I do.
People, he's about to go back and delete all of this. Trust.
I have them.
You thought Mela was money before she was money, okay? But in your defense, you called a great future talent. So I'll give you that.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Now let's go back to Alberto Del Rio. I think for a man to put his hands on a woman, absolutely disgusting. Should not ever happen. Ever. You know, under no circumstances is that acceptable.
Right.
Now, from what I understand, and this is from what I remember reading, he sexually abused the woman and then threatened to dump her son out of the car
in the middle of the road or something like that. Yeah. Thing is, bro, he did more than just put her hands on her. He tied her up. He sodomized her. Like, he tortured her. This is disgusting. Like, this
life.
piece of shit needs to be under the jail. Not in jail, but under it for the rest of his life. Like,
yeah.
Just complete, like, ugh.
Only a psychopath does stuff like that. Like, this man deserves life. You know, if there's any justice in the world, and a couple podcasts back, we were talking about the sexual harassment stuff. Mm-hmm. This man deserves life. And I can't see anybody defending it. I can't. You know what I mean? I you know what I mean? And I know there are going to be crazy-ass people defending it. Just like there's a bunch of crazy-ass people.
And I would love to debate against them, too. I would love to debate against these people.
Just like there's a bunch of crazy-ass people defending Chris Benoit still, what he did. No.
I have a mother. I have a sister. I have female cousins. If anyone ever did anything like that to them, I'd kill them. You know what I'm saying? That is disgusting. You don't treat women that way. You don't treat anyone that way, but you don't treat women that way. I'm sorry. Like, this poor woman was defenseless. Her son was threatened. Like, come on. What kind of person?
Mean? Alberto came from a woman. They're the reason you're breathing.
At the end of the day, we don't have to talk about that POS anymore. I was just wondering if you heard about it, because that threw me off. I read about that, maybe about a week ago, and I was just mind blown, dude.
Well, I'm glad that you brought it up. I think that, like, listen, I didn't want to end the podcast on a bad note, but, you know, I don't think that it would be right to stay quiet about it. And I think that, you know, for a man to do that to anybody, to a woman and a defenseless child as well, I don't know, like, there's just something wrong with you.
Well, he's going to be my go-to jobber in any future SmackDown game.
Please don't. Please don't put that idea in anybody's head. He should.
Are you? He's getting destroyed time and time again.
No. I'm saying he should not be hired. He should not be, given the opportunity to come on SmackDown and be paid for losing to people. I'm sorry. No more opportunities.
That's why I said he'll be my jobber in the video games, but he should not be given any opportunity for any company whatsoever.
Oh, you said in the video games. Okay.
Yes. Which all the ones I still own, I don't even think he's in. I don't think he's been in them since the 2K franchise has started. So.
And you know how the state's cleared into that minefield.
Yeah. Well,
their last one was so bad they canceled this one. You know?
So true.
Now,
well, are you ready for the buy or sell?
Huh?
Are you ready for the buy or sell?
Yeah, go for it.
My buy or sell is, you're going to love this one, Dolph Ziggler as your next WWE champion. I would buy that all day, every day.
That's an easy one. Sell. I don't know how you expected a different response from me. Like, what? Like, what did you expect? Oh my God, I have to think about this one. No! Are you kidding me?
You just said 15, 20 minutes ago that you wanted him to win.
No,
so
I said I said a part of me was interested in the idea of seeing him win because I wanted to see what he would do. But again, I don't really care that much because Dolph Ziggler isn't that great. And he's not, and especially not in a talent pool when you have Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. Do I need to go on? Because I will. I will absolutely go on if you need me to. Do you want me to go on? You want me to go on?
No.
That's what I thought. Now, I'm sorry, but the next champion after Drew should be Bobby Lashley, in my opinion. Bobby Lashley has potential. He has mic skills. He's gotten immensely better on the mic since, 2006. He has the character. He has the backstory. On top of that, he has the build of a champion. And if you really want to throw the caveat on top, listen, if Bobby Lashley defeats Drew, then your next Mania match, if WWE decides to re-sign him, is guaranteed Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, which is what people have been wanting. Lashley himself has been wanting. A lot of people will come back just to watch that match right there. So that's why I think Bobby Lashley should be the next world champion.
This is where I can actually say I agree with you in your choice of the next champion. I've been wanting to see him as champion for years, but that's a very valid point right there. You're right. He has gotten better on the mic. People want to see Bobby versus Brock. Like, boom.
That right there already sells money. For the UFC fans, if you bring back Brock Lesnar, you have a lot of eyes on the company. And for the MMA fans, Bobby Lashley was no slouch in MMA either, to my knowledge.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not saying build on that, but that could be a part of it. And then that gets eyes from the MMA community. Oh shit.
You know it will be. You know it will be a big part of it, but that's smart.
Exactly.
You're bringing in fans, MMA, UFC.
Exactly.
Wrestling.
It's smart marketing. That's all it is. Smart marketing. Die-hard Ruthless Aggression era fans. Come back. We're going to watch this. Boom. Money. Older, old-fashioned wrestling fans, like people who want to see the big bodybuilders.
Like me. Well, not the big bodybuilders, but me.
Okay, but I'm talking about the people who, they see the big bodybuilders and they think, okay, those are world champions, those are wrestlers,
Right.
I don't personally agree with that.
No, exactly, but that's the mold of a champion.
Yeah. Yeah, but if that's what gets eyes on the product, do it. Build this match.
It's not like the guy isn't talented. Bobby's very talented.
Yeah.
And like you said, he has gotten a lot better on the mic. He has a character. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Lashley is my pick, or hopeful pick, for the Royal Rumble.
And if you can entertain the damn idea of Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar, you can for damn sure give us Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. I'm still bitter about that. I'm still pissed off about that. Killing off Shinsuke Nakamura not once but twice? Jesus Christ, I was pissed. But anyway.
Don't hinder the gender.
I thought we talked about this. I feel like we have talked about
now
this.
you do want to choke me out.
Yeah. No. I feel like we did talk about this. I feel like last podcast you said some bullshit like this, and I said, your ass ain't being on the podcast no more. But no. No. I can't understand it. Why? Of all people, when it could have been Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, he was in that six-pack challenge. He could have won the world title. But if you wanted a foreign heel, if that's what you wanted, you could have been with... God. You could have had Rusev win the world title.
Rusev ain't got no job.
I can't believe it. You're making me mad in my own house again.
That's what I'm here for.
Wait a minute. Why am I blaming you? I'm making me mad in my own house again. I'm the one who brought him up, my dumbass. Okay. Of all people, it could have been. I don't know. Oh, and then this is one thing that pissed me off. We could have had a SummerSlam match between John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura. Instead, you give that one away for SmackDown. But Shinsuke and Jinder Mahal have to wet the bed on SummerSlam and embarrass themselves? No. I don't know. I'm personally...
I was hoping to forget that, so thank you for that reminder.
Well, thank you for your reminder of the eye for an eye match.
All right, we're going to go ahead and just bury that one now, along with the Jinder Mahal, until he makes his return and takes Bobby Lashley's push and beats Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship.
There was one saving grace from that point that I saw that. One. And that was the Paul Heyman promo where he absolutely buried Jinder Mahal. I sat there and I watched that. It was a glorious promo. It was so good that I used it. I used one of his quotes as a soundbite for my next podcast that day.
The make-believe Maharaja?
God, did I love that. And you know what? In editing, I'm certainly going to put that in my video.
Please do. Why don't you edit in when you were praising Carmella back in 2016, too? Just throwing it out there. Just throw that in there for me.
Okay, and you know what? We'll throw in when you said, oh, hey, Carmella deserves to be in the world title picture.
Okay, I said that at the right time. When I said that, yeah, she deserved to be in the world title picture.
No, you said that right at a point where she's past, like, the world championship at this point. She's back to doing comedy segments with R-Truth. What, are you going to tell me R-Truth should be in the world title picture, too?
No.
I like R-Truth, but why is he going to be in the world title picture?
I think we talked about this last time, too. I would love to see him as a world champion, but I wouldn't believe it. Just like Xavier Woods, I would not believe as a world champion. I'm sorry.
So,
no.
Okay, so why would you believe Carmella? Well, okay,
her in-ring skills have gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Her character development has gotten a lot better.
Okay.
I can believe Carmella now as a women's champion.
Okay, now in that
Back
sense,
then I could not.
I can say I can see why, because she's also a former women's champion. So, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Now, it wasn't the best title run,
No, it wasn't.
but still, she's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
At the time, I think I told you back then, I thought she was drafted to a major brand too early. I think she still had a lot of work to do, and she did. Same thing with Alexa Bliss, but they kind of just shoved them out there.
Well, yeah.
So they had no choice but to progress quickly. Now, Alexa progressed a lot more quicker than Carmella did, but both have progressed. I would accept Carmella as a champion more than Alexa at this point.
Well,
I'm just saying.
The thing about
Just saying.
Alexa was not that she didn't have she wasn't bad. I just think she didn't have the experience back then, and
She didn't really have the chemistry with anybody, so she needed time to build that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Sorry. So okay,
Like,
we're saying
she wasn't bad, but you remember when she would have matches with like Naomi, Becky, and stuff. Like, the matches weren't bad, but they weren't great because she didn't have that chemistry. She wasn't used to working with them.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
okay,
I
that
think
makes sense.
at the time, both her and Carmella just needed time to build that chemistry. They have that chemistry now, so now they can give us decent matches at the very least. Now, mind you, they made Carmella back into a comedy character. So what? The skills are there.
Okay, but the skills are there for R-Truth, and you still wouldn't buy him. The skills
I
are there
wouldn't.
for Xavier Woods, you still wouldn't buy him.
No,
and,
I wouldn't.
And they both have a lot more skill than Carmella.
I'd buy. I mean, and your Pringles, okay? To you and your Pringles.
No. Don't hate, appreciate.
I'll buy them as a mid-card champion. I couldn't see it
I'm
as
just trying to
a WWE
understand,
champion.
Man,
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
You know what? Yeah, I can buy them as a Universal champion.
Okay, fine.
Is
I'll
them-
settle. Well, okay. I'll settle on that. Universal champion. I'll settle.
Because that title means boo-boo squat to me.
Means
I
boo-boo
mean, I
squat
think
to
the
me,
IC
but
title and the US title and the women's titles are higher than the Universal Championship.
hey,
So-
it means boo-boo squat to me. But I know a lot of people regard it as something of importance to them. So hey, as long as they're getting that appreciation and recognition as world champions, I'm not complaining. All right. So, all right. On that note, I think we're going to end it here. This was a good podcast, my good sir. How long did we have in this?
God, it's 8:21. We started at what, 6:30?
Yeah.
5:30? 6:30?
6:30. Damn, 2 hours. All right,
Well,
man. Well,
I guess I had a lot to say about that trash pay-per-view we had to watch,
yeah, for sure.
which I don't blame you for. So
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon owes me about 2.5 hours of my life back. I won't blame that on you.
Well, he owes me a lot of time. All the
Well,
time that
for
I've
real,
spent watching
He owes me
WWE.
about 5
He owes
years of
me-
my life back, but okay.
Yeah, he owes me okay, for one, he owes me 9 seconds of my life back because I can't believe and he owes me $200 because I went to SmackDown, the Fox premiere, and wasted $200 for a match I was really excited to look at, and then it only lasted 9 seconds. God damn it! And then, not only does he owe me that, he owes me money. He owes me time for the time that I had invested in watching this Shinsuke Nakamura Jinder Mahal feud, only for it to not amount to anything. He owes me time for that Rusev Randy Orton
What
match
do you
at SummerSlam.
mean? We got that catch-as-catch-on classic at SummerSlam between Jinder and... I tried to say it with a straight face. I'm sorry.
You know what? You're on timeout. 5 seconds for you. 5 seconds. You're on timeout for 5 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was good. I had to. All right.
Okay, well, anyway. Alright. So, yeah, that's going to cut it out for this show. Match recommendation of the week. What you got?
Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura SummerSlam. I'm kidding. I'm not even gonna.
I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay, no.
I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm sorry. I have to really go. I'm sorry. I had to really pee right there. All right.
I know. I have to do the same thing. That coffee's starting to flow through. I have to break the seal.
Oh shoot. I'm sorry. Do you want to
No,
go?
you're good.
Okay.
No. So, all right.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't hold it in any longer.
In the spirit of SummerSlam, since it's next month, my match recommendation will be from SummerSlam 1995, I believe, the ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
Okay. That's
It's
fair.
their second ladder match. It's a classic. It's a good one. I actually think I enjoyed it more than I did their one at WrestleMania 10.
Mhm.
Which was that the same year or the year before? But either way,
Mhm.
yeah, their ladder match at SummerSlam 95 is my match recommendation.
Okay. Okay. Now. Okay. I have one that I don't think that I have promoted on the show yet. I haven't recommended. I could be wrong. If I have, I have. I'm sorry. But this is Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 2005. If you haven't seen that one, you gotta watch it. Great match.
I don't remember you bringing this up, but I do remember the match. So yes, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, that one for sure. Great match. All right, cool. So that's gonna do it for this show. Thank you, Eddie, for tuning in. I hope to see you next podcast.
Of course.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care.